What's up?
What's good?
What's good? What we're talking about, content. So
Yeah, we're talking about content. We're talking about publishing, and we should always have, as artists, you should always be selling something. You should always be selling something. In my view, it doesn't matter how skeletal it is. Yeah, but I think as writers, me, photographer, should always have a book. Yeah. It doesn't matter if that book is made on a home printer. It doesn't matter if it's just a few poems long.
I think I just totally agree with that. I'll be honest, I'm dry. I let myself down all the time. I've been doing it for years.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Because look, I'm just gonna share a little something. Let me just share a little something here. So, I've got my book. I was starting it years ago. I haven't finished it yet. I actually could put it out as it is now, as in this is just the first part, and that's the book, and then as the second part. So like as it starts, and I will read it. It basically is meeting of eyes. You've heard this before, Weekend. You have heard it before.
Okay.
So meeting of eyes. Tyrone was at home watching the game. Erica was at home thinking about hopping on a plane. Tyrone deep inside was urging United to win. Erica, whilst pondering, fancied a tonic with gin. Tyrone got out of his chair and started shouting and screaming. Erica got out of her chair and paused her daydreaming. Rooney's through on goal. Tyrone excited, thinks he must score. Feeling really thirsty. Quickly Erica thinks a drink she must pour. Rooney stylishly chips the keeper. Tyrone thought, oh, that goal was sublime. Erica tastes her G&T from a stylish beaker. Erica thought, ooh, this taste is sublime. Rooney's classy goal sealed United's win 2-0, whilst Erica's G&T gave her a slight buzz and minor thrill. Tyrone felt like celebrating, so he called up 3 of his crew. Erica fired up phoned her girls, Paula, Jane and Angela too. Tyrone was like, come on boys, do you fancy a night out on the tiles? Erica was like, you know what girls, we ain't been out in a while. So the boys got together, spruced themselves up, they looked fine. The girls hooked up, had a gossip, then dressed up to the nines. So the boys left out, all of them rocking a stylish strut. The girls accentuated their curves. Wow, they had the finest butts. Tyrone and his crew called a taxi. Erica and her girls called a cab. Both taxi cab drivers received the same message. Can you take us to the lab? The lab was a wine bar but had a nice cool vibe. You know that chilled out atmosphere and that plush decor inside? Tyrone and his boys were now in the lab at the bar. As Erica entered the lab, someone caught her eye from afar. That moment was when Tyrone and Erica's eyes met for the very first time. The moment was so pure and so magical. It sent chills up Tyrone's and Erica's spines. And then we have a second part to it, which is one moment in time. Tyrone and Erica, yes, their eyes did meet. For all of eternity, they could not speak. Well, that is precisely how it felt at that moment in time. Maybe the meeting of eyes was a prelude to a meeting of minds. Maybe the meeting of eyes was a precursor to the meeting of flesh, where the toned chest of Tyrone met Erica's breasts. When Tyrone the eagle flew to Erica's nest, the very moment when the best of Tyrone met Erica's best. Tyrone and Erica's eyes meeting was a moment so sweet, where the heart rate of Tyrone perfectly matched Erica's beat. Tyrone and Erica's eyes were totally locked together. The lust in Tyrone's eyes was now meeting Erica's pleasure. The island of Tyrone was lost, but was found by Erica's treasure. Time, standing still, eyes completely lost in their leisure. So Tyrone and Erica's meeting of eyes, how long did it last? The moment truly felt like forever, when in fact, only 3 seconds had passed.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, but
So what are you waiting for?
I'm just dry though. I'm dry.
Dry how? In what way?
Dry because I started writing that all inspired or whatever. It was all in my poultry vibe as you do.
Mm.
And typically, yeah, because I remember I was working 9 to 5 jobs as you do, and when I started writing it, it was like Christmas holiday, so I wasn't going to my 9 to 5 job, so I was all inspired and whatever, getting my writing down. So writing, doing what I'm doing, and like and the writing was easy. It's how it's put together, somewhat intricate, but it wasn't difficult for me when I alter. I could just do it simply. So I'm doing it. But then it was like Christmas break and it was like January the 5th, January the 6th, whatever it was. I had to go back to work. So then I went back to work, got back in the work grind. So then I like put it on the back burner, what I was writing. And then when I came to try and start writing it again, I just found it difficult. It just wasn't.
So is that complete?
Working the same. So it's not complete at all because that I just read. That's like the first 2 poems of it, but there's a few more which is there, which I'm not going through now. But really and truly, it's not complete because I got to a certain point when I went back to work and I was supposed to come back to it, and then I didn't find that mojo to allow me to write what I'm trying to do with that much ease, because really the purpose of it is it's a love story, but the love story is, how is it different? It's because the whole thing is in rhyme, and that's...
So how far has that got to be completed?
But technically,
wait. So what? Rather than seeing that as a problem, why don't we see that as a solution by saying that this is the first of a series?
But that's what we were just saying. That's what, when I was saying, oh, I haven't finished it. No, because that can be where it's up to now. Literally, it's can complete, be the first of a series which goes on. So if you think of like I don't know, like any program which is on now, any type of box set, you can have like a standard, I don't know, season 1, 12 episodes. So there's no reason, my thing there is that's season 1 of it.
Why do you put that out on my publisher?
I can do that, to be fair.
Not Index Press.
Yeah.
The point is, I say, I mean, the strapline is punk, poetry, pornography.
That's so typical of you.
Right?
You're so typical.
And it's a perfect fit. The point is to kind of like to publish the, I wouldn't say counterculture because there's no counterculture in Manchester, but to publish the underground.
Yeah.
I'm interested in scenes, subculture, the illicit, shadows, alleyways. I'm interested in all that. That interests me. It interests me, and increasingly does so because we don't have private lives anymore, in the sense that everything is digital.
Yeah, that's very true.
And in becoming more digital, everything analog is trending towards digital, right?
Yeah.
So records became CDs, CDs became MP3s, MP3s became streams.
Yeah.
And the same logic there is that money, analog becomes digital, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or some version of it, right?
Spot on.
And so in that regard, because our lives have become kind of like digital, the other side of that is our lives have now become public, if only because Facebook and Twitter track you everywhere. They track you everywhere online.
Highly annoying.
You are being stalked.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And so my point is that there isn't actually, as we become more and more online, there isn't the space for us to recede from that realm. Basically, there's no place where we're not tracked.
Yeah, there is no place for it.
Right. So and so the point about something like Naughty Index Press is that this is I'm interested in surfacing or developing that underground. I care about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you saw my approach with my photography work was to it could only work where the connections the social connection was transient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the space where the photographs were taken were basically anonymous in essence.
Okay.
So I'm interested in anonymous space. Yeah. I'm interested in that, and that's why I want to publish it. That's what I want to publish. That's the point of this press.
Let me understand what you mean. What anonymous space? What does that actually mean?
What okay, so in terms of my publisher, right, Naughty Index Press, the point is I want basically I want to rediscover the sense in myself and in others, yeah, where people feel able to be themselves without the scrutiny that comes from being observed. That's really what it's about.
I understand that because I've just because of the. I know for me, the scrutiny of being observed can sometimes have a detrimental effect. So, saying to you before about when I went out to Dubai a couple of weeks ago for my cousin's psychology conference. I've gone out there. Me and my other friend, we're actually facilitating to year 10, year 11, year 12, and year 13 students, GCSE and A-level students out in Dubai, a psychology-based UK criminal justice session out there, but it was led by my cousin in relation to his conference. And the thing is, I've done a lot of work here in schools and for different organisations and things, but I was thinking that when I've gone out to Dubai and I'm doing this, it's an alien country to me, it's different. So you'd expect me to be more nervous going out doing this thing there than I would be doing it where I'm more familiar. But when I went there, I really wasn't nervous at all. I was relaxed, completely relaxed. And when I sat back and I reflected on why I was relaxed, it's because it was my cousin's conference which he put on. He brought us over to do our thing, and his advice to us in relation to what he wanted was use your expertise, use your knowledge, and be yourself. Just be yourself, do what you want. And so was able to go in and facilitate extreme positive sessions where every single student got something from what we were giving. They were asking really meaningful questions, and even at times there was a number of different psychology teachers in these sessions who got so much out of it and was asking us all these questions. Both me and my friend Simon, when he was doing the same session but with a different set of students next door, and it was just so easy and so simple to me, and it felt so free and so liberating, actually effectively feeling as if I was doing that without the scrutiny.
Right.
So
okay.
So that's why I'm feeling the point which you were saying.
Yeah. And that's the point. And the medium doesn't matter to me. Whether it's visual or word based, doesn't matter. I just want to develop that sense, really, and to find other people that also want to, work in that way, express themselves in that way. That matters to me. Instagram isn't right for every fucking thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's not. What's your Insta?
No.
What's your Insta?
No. I remember, I think I told you this before, I remember meeting these artists at this at Partisan collective, whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
Partisan, right? And it's like this artist, and she was like dressed in spandex or something, and kind of like faintly provocative and all this stuff and blah blah blah. Right, I looked at painting, which I don't think was much good, but whatever. Right, and I said, oh, how can I find you? Right, and she said, oh, I said, are you on Instagram? And I said, no, and she couldn't believe it. She said, how can you be an artist and not be on Instagram?
Right, yeah.
And my thing was, look, right, if you are serious about your work, you should not be on Instagram. Right, in my view. Yeah.
That's an interesting point of view. Why not? That's an interesting point of view. Why not?
Because there's a value. There's a value in scarcity. There's not a value in obscurity, because that just means that you'll never get seen. Yeah. But there's a value in scarcity, and the problem with Instagram for me is that everybody sees your work, but nobody sees your work. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just part of this stream of stuff. Everybody sees it, and nobody sees it. It's like you can take the most remarkable photographs, right? So my own photographs, for instance, they would not flourish on Instagram because it's just more stuff.
It's just more stuff.
Do you know what I mean? Along with Insta models, fitness models, big butts, whatever. What's special about my photography? Yeah, in Instagram, there's nothing special about my photography at all.
So
it has to stand alone.
So if it's not Insta, where's it gonna go in this day and age, which has become more digital, as we're talking before, and especially in relation to what in this video, what we're talking about and saying, it's all about content.
So
where's that content going?
If I feel if I'm so there's a couple of things which are absolutely fascinating, right, in this, right. So I think you become super digital, and you become analog, but you don't lie in the middle.
Are you paradoxing again?
No, I'm not. No. Listen to my train of thought, right?
Okay.
So this is what I mean, right? So, for instance, my books will be available online, but only to buy, They will not be. You will not be able to observe them, right? Whatever. You just not. If you want my books, if you like what you see, right, then you're gonna have to buy the book. That's what it's gonna be, right?
Okay.
At Naughty and Express, right? But there's something you can do in that which I find absolutely fascinating, right? I don't know if you kind of like you've observed my interest in the medium called interactive fiction. Have you heard of that?
No, but you're gonna tell me.
Interactive fiction is absolutely fascinating. Yeah. Well, basically, you can. You're using web technology, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? But essentially to create games, and adventures from text and words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you can imagine the choose your own adventure genre.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Basically, what it
I remember that from when I was like 11 and that.
Yeah. What it enables you to do is to take so for instance, you could take the poem you've got here, right? And then I could make a link, right? And it would zoom. You'll then be invited into the next section, of the work, whatever that is.
So what's it called again? Remind me again.
So the medium is called interactive fiction.
Interactive fiction.
I can show you a few examples on YouTube in a minute, right?
Okay.
But it's absolutely fascinating. The possibilities are really, really exciting, because essentially what you're able then to do is you're able to turn. So for instance, if you write a novel, this is what I'm saying to. I'm gonna have to do it myself because people don't understand what I mean, right? If you write a novel, right, I think it's possible to turn a section of that into a game that people click through. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And explore.
So because I'm totally ignorant to this, is this actually a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. So what I think, or at least what I'm going to do with Naughty and Express. Naughty and Express is going to be on the one side, it's going to be analog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, interactive fiction gives me the chance to become this kind of like strange narrative game studio. Yeah.
So, just out of interest then, let me find what I'm looking for here. I've got an idea with this. I just want to see if it fits or works. So, my poetry will get published like properly, but here we go. Got this poem here. It's called Creation Myth. And I just want to see if this interactive fiction actually works. So my poem Creation Myth is Creation Myth. Creation myth, creation myth. Only mankind could create. Time to explode the myth that man descended from an ape. Or a monkey for that matter. At least this much I know. I was not birthed by macaques out in Japan's snow. I did not come forth from the loins of a boisterous baboon. That theory is the pure hot air they use to power up balloons. Explode the myth, explode the myth. How did I become a man? I tell you now I have never hung out with the ovaries of an orangutan. Explode the myth, explode the myth. Come on man, let us think. There is not a chance in heaven we evolved from the coitus of a cheeky chimp. And in mentioning coitus, that brings me on to very neatly the numerous myths attached to creation via Big Bang Theory. The explosion of hot, dense, bodily matter, creating the beginning of space and time. Believing this to be the source of all creation, to me is a total waste of time. We could discuss this further, but I really don't have the time to hear these creation stories time after time after time. Then there is God in Genesis, and the story that we are the kids, the one and only direct descendants born out of Adam's rib. We create these myths and stories in our desire to know it all. But what I know is really something. We know nothing at all.
That's terrific.
So that's that. But in relation to this interactive fiction and the zooming in, which you're the technical digital computer whiz, so you understand this more than I do. So really and truly, I'm looking at my poem here and I'm like, well, creation myth, only mankind could create. Time to explode the myth that man descended from an ape or a monkey for that matter. At least this much I know. I was not birthed by macaques out in Japan's snow. So like say like that bit, for example, could you like zoom into it and like create something like say
you could navigate through the poem as a kind of hypertext. Yeah, it's the best way to, probably the best thing for me to do is to show you. Let's set this up another time because it's late now.
Shall we do a video
of
this interactive fiction and
yeah, I mean we could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we'll put it out to the good folk.
Yeah, of course.
We'll do that.
I mean the point is so for instance, the point about interactive fiction is that is rather dull on the computer screen. It's dull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody likes to read lots of fucking words.
Yeah.
People hate that shit.
Yeah.
Conversely, people quite enjoy games online. Of course they do.
Yeah.
And the point is that interactive fiction acts as a kind of medium whereby it's a halfway house between a game and the way it's consumed as literary content, because you're then able to create options for players. Basically, people will be able to play your poetry because it's really hard to describe, because obviously it's hard to describe.
Obviously.
Yeah, but people basically interactive fiction allows people to play the medium like a game. Yeah, in the same way in which, of course, in a way you gamify, not so much anymore on the internet, but you gamify written content on the internet by having hyperlinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you encourage to, when you underline the phrase, you shouldn't describe what is there.
Yeah.
You should just underline the phrase, and that encourages. Oh, why is that being underlined? And you click on it.
Yeah.
And it takes you to the next. It takes you to underline the next section.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, I could just like, go home now, but why is the next section underlined?
Right.
Then you click it, right?
Yeah.
You see what I
Yeah.
mean? In that simple way, it acts as a navigational device,
Yeah.
right? Which makes the consumption of lengthy written poetry, more amenable to this new medium. See what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really wordy, doesn't it?
It is. It's very. It is wordy.
PhD type academic garbage, right? But you see the point I'm making, right?
Yeah.
So that interactive fiction, it can be very, very simply done, and I'd be interested in doing that for Creation Myth or something similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in publishing. I'm certain that Naughty Index Press is going to flourish, not just as a house for photography, my own vehicle, but written word as well, in the context that I've described.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear you read those two things back to back is book launch all day long.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Bless me.
All I hear when I hear you say that is book launch.
Mm.
I just 2 words, book launch. It's like, why? Why aren't you doing that?
Before they said that at the beginning, because they've been dry.
Yeah, I know you've been dry, but it screams book launch. Even if, literally, I'm not joking. You must think I'm joking, my friend. Yeah, even if, literally do it on the home fucking printer.
Yeah.
Right. Do it on a home printer, right? You do half a dozen.
Yeah.
It's in your house, or my house or whoever. You call your friends together. You read them. Right, to your friends. I got about fucking 12 bottles of wine in there.
Oh, nice one.
Right, you see what I mean?
Right.
And you do a book launch, and the books are available.
You got any Guinness?
No. the books are going to be available on the day. For what, £3 each?
Yeah. That works.
I mean, the wine people are going to be getting is going to cost more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can say, I've got a book. This is my book. I got a book launch.
There we go. You can do that.
You see my so Naughty Index Press is if you think about low key publisher, there is a mat on which you're going to make your stuff. That's the fucking printer. Yeah. Right. And that
fair.
The whole publisher is going to be from my house. That's the whole thing. Yeah. But I want to meet good, interesting artists, writers, photographers, and then want it to be the space for that.
That works.
Yeah, and that excites me. I'm super excited by that. Super excited by that. Yeah.
So,
I've started. I'm planning a baby YouTube channel.
what are you planning for a baby then?
No. Well, that'd be nice, but it's a bit more complicated. It's got to find someone I quite like. You know what I mean?
Is that difficult?
I'm not meeting a lot of women I like in that way.
Okay.
I'm meeting a lot of women, but not the right kind of. I'm just not. I mean, you never know, but you know the deal, Mark. You know the deal.
Yeah.
I'm not meeting people here.
There we
So,
go.
I mean, you got to be at a certain level, and since I waited this long, why just fucking why?
Okay.
No.
Fair
But yeah, anyway.
I digress.
From what to what?
Baby YouTube channel. I started to start babies.
So baby YouTube channel, which I'm actually quite excited about. Yeah. And all I'm gonna do is talk about what's it called? It's called McTow Bro. Yeah. Have you heard of McTow?
Excuse me?
Have you heard of McTow?
McTow?
Yeah. So McTow is an acronym for Men Going Their Own Way.
Oh.
Right. So it's like
Men
going their own way. Right.
Okay.
And it's been like this kind of like online movement for the last few years, right? And it's about kind of like men in an unashamed sense of their masculinity. It's kind of like a reaction to toxic masculinity and hyper masculinity and like man shaming and this kind of thing. And it's the idea that men should actually be who they are without apology. You know what I'm saying? Without editing, without shame, without that Gillette advert, without any of that.
And
stuff.
without the
Exactly.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking
Without
about.
the Gillette advert, I
Right?
like that. I like
Um,
that.
especially the context of like toxic masculinity and all those other things, yeah, and like man shaming, especially has quite strong implications for black men who are the most masculine of men.
Mm.
That's always like a tricky and dangerous thing to be in, right? Because you find yourself or your children in the crosshairs of that. That's just what's going to happen when you have all of that going on, right? So in any case, the channel's called McTobro.
McTobro.
Yeah, McTobro, and that's just me talking about what have I straplined it? It's called
Me chatting shit.
no, yeah, a forensic analysis of modern love, yeah, from a man's perspective.
That's so Ecom-esque.
And here's why it's forensic. Yeah. And it's really simple. All I do is basically pull up Guardian articles from the relationship section, right?
Okay, I
and you see what I'm doing here, right?
What you're doing.
So there's that absolutely fucking horrible advice that Mariella Frostrup gives, right? And instead, all I'm gonna do is that's not the shit. This is what you should do instead.
Okay.
And that's basically the whole thing. But
I actually like that, to be fair.
thank you. And the reason why it's forensic is I want it also to be data driven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to actually show. Well, these are the numbers. Yeah. These are the actual.
Oh, they love that out here. Data driven. It's all about the numbers now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically hack, relationship sections, right, and give my own hyper masculine, toxic masculine, right, perspective, on love and relationships, but then back that with data on.
That is very interesting.
It's fun. It's really fun. I've been kind of like, and guess what's great about it? Really great about it, right? Is I'm kind of like sly testing it on my friends by taking the articles that I'm interested in and posting them on Facebook and say, what do you think of this? Right? And then my friends jump on and everything else, and so I'm getting more basically crowdsourcing, the conversation, and then I take those snippets and I put them, anonymize them, and I put them on this like little blog, right? And that becomes an article, and then I can basically use that as videos for my YouTube. So this is the article, this is my view, this is what you should be doing, this is what you shouldn't be doing, and it's fucking cool.
I think you should do what you're doing without any shame.
Yeah.
I've got a poem called Shame. Do you want to hear it?
Go on.
Let's have it.
Let's have it, mate. Manchester.
Let's have it. Shall I crack on?
Go on.
To be fair, I'm going to crack on. Shame. I want to say something, but shame prevents me.
Shame.
Energetically and enthusiastically erecting an overtly onerous obstacle that is perpetually proving so difficult to overcome. My mind is maraudingly manic and so desperately overrun, with endless thoughts and countless questions being cooked up and overdone. I want to say something, but shame prevents me.
Shame.
Why does shame prevent me? Shame prevents me over some ridiculously rotten notion, idiotic idea or sounding daft, foolish fear of sounding stupid that all who hears will laugh. Paralyzed by paranoia, shame causes me to pass. Shame's ever-emerging ego, exterminate. I will destroy and kill you. Fast!
What was that? Fast.
Yeah, fast. I will destroy and kill you fast.
Mate.
Get rid of your shame.
Mate. 2 words.
What you saying, mate?
What are the 2 words I'm going to say?
Book lodge. Book lodge. You joker.
We could fucking do this shit. Listen. I could chop up that book on a weekend. Seriously. Book launch. Invite our friends. Readings from Sir Mark Cole. Book launch.
Too right. We'll do that.
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Okay, that's fine.
If you feel like you've been static. Fair enough. Well, yeah,
selling myself short.
Yeah, that's okay, but
it's not okay.
But it happens in life, doesn't it? It happens to us. It does happen. And this is actually great material, isn't it? I'm so
Are you happy about this?
Don't bitch.
Don't know.
And I would love you, love you, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
I love you.
Right.
I'd love you to be my sparring partner in October.
Okay, there we go. Matobro.
You know,
Okay.
that'd be wicked. That'd be wicked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matobro.
So it's
Men
like
going their own way, bro. Without no shame.
without no shame. But it's just
Unapologetically,
yeah.
a man.
Yes.
Unapologetic.
But of course, part of Moctobro and part of the reason I'm doing it is one, it's good to do it, but there's some reason to it. Yeah. Is that of course Moctobro is going to be part of Naughty Index Press.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah.
NIP.
In terms of. So there's my photographs. Yeah. So my photographs and the book I'm publishing, the books I'm publishing, these all these little books. That's part of, the Naughty Index and my photography stream I did at that time, right?
Okay.
So there's all those, like the books I'm making, foreign birds, mank birds, birds in black and white, birds in colour, right? I forgot about all the titles, right?
Okay.
right. So I've got all those things coming out. And that's part of like the Naughty Index, yeah. Then I've got Moctobro, yeah.
What are you saying, bro?
What are you saying, bro?
Moctobro.
Moctobro. Right. I've got Moctobro coming out, right? And so that's a.
This is all new to me. I haven't heard of Moctobro before. This is just new to me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're freestyling and going with this. Let's go.
Okay, let's go, bro.
Let's go, bro, Moctobro. Let's go, bro, Moctobro.
Let's
soul flow.
So.
What's under your hat? Some soul glow, Moctobro.
You see what I mean? Madness.
There we go.
Madness. Method in the madness or just madness?
Just
madness.
There's method in the madness, and there's just madness.
Okay.
Let's speak to Suggs about his madness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. So there's Moctobro, yeah. Because YouTube is even though it's like it's all a bit fucked up and censored now, it's still the audience is there, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be great for Naughty Index Press to have like a popular channel, because when you have a popular channel that people can access. So the problem is like doing like a little publisher, of course, is your reach. Your reach is microscopic. It just is. Yeah. If you're only a publisher, you have to have methods by which you can reach the audience in general, or a larger audience. And
Very true.
You have to use the tools. Yeah. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to say, well, look at my books, buy my books. That's ridiculous. You still have to use the medium in the correct way, right? And way which is engaging and interesting, right? And I think Moctobro can be good.
What are you saying, bro?
Good to go, bro.
Moctobro.
I think it's well known that you can build. I was just watching a video. Actually, what happened was, I was like, going to chop up this thing here for the basis for like the first foreign birds. And so I was just watching this YouTube video, and there's this woman who was talking about, she sold 20,000 books of her first books totally independently, first run. I was like, oh, how'd you do that? She said, well, obviously I leveraged my YouTube base, because you're not going to sell 20,000 books without a base.
Okay.
Right? He's not going to where he's not.
No.
Right. So she used the medium, right, to develop an audience, and then if you have a book, you develop your base, no matter how small it is. I think if you got 100 subscribers as a base, right? Then you can say, hey, I got this book coming out. It's this tiny thing.
There's your product.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And if you then sell,
you're gonna have to sell it. You got your product. You got your price. You're gonna have to promote it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and I think that could be good for a tiny world's smallest publisher like Naughty Index Press, and that's the point. Once you're shifting tiny units for small amounts of money, you are live. Do you know what I mean? And that I'm super excited by that.
So the moral of all of this is content,
Content.
until we're no longer going to be content without putting out the content.
You have to put out. It doesn't. You know, I would listen. I would say it's better, literally, right, to take what you've got there, photocopy it, get some staples and punch it together, right, and sell them for 50p each.